Izzy believes if Alex fights someone else, Alex will lose. And therefore, Izzy views that as a problem. Hey, look, I need to be the one to stop him. I don't want to go get my title back or get my belt back. Beating Apollo Costa, beating a Robert Whittaker. I got to go through this guy. And I don't think this guy is going to have the title. That's a very fascinating concept because that sounds accurate. Like, I really get what Izzy's saying there. We are all pretty resigned that we have seen the skills of Pereira and that he is an unusual mixed martial arts champion in that he is one skill heavy, which is the punches and the kicks, right? And I see that too. The rest of the story, which we conveniently leave out, is that's been enough and he's beaten everybody they put in front of him. But we as MMA fans, we believe you must have more than one discipline. We believe that you've got to be able to show your guillotine and you got to at least be able to pronounce Uma Palata. Like, the last 20 years of history would say that we've got that right. Alex Pereira really is a one-off, and it's a highly unusual spot. And I think that I really do understand what Adesanya is saying in both regards, because he's not just saying, hey, I think the field can beat this guy. That's not what he's saying. He's saying another side of it, which is, I got problems with this guy. I've been up to bat 3 times. It has not worked out those 3 times for whatever reason. I'm not just dying to go get a hold of him and close this thing out because I know that I can't. I know this guy's a problem. I know there's other paths, right? This is Izzy talking. There's other paths to a championship that are more likely to get me there. But my path and the one that I've got to do as a competitor has to go through him. And, man, that's strong stuff. From a psychological standpoint, this is very strong stuff.
Так скажем, спаррингуя с ним, ты почувствовал высочайший, да.
Он у меня тяжелее был на тот момент, конечно.
Высокий уровень почувствовал, да?
Ну и он сам высокий, и уровень высокий, безусловно, и ну, как бы он одаренный человек физически, плюс у него с психикой все в порядке. Такой боец, молодец. Вот. Поработали, подвигались. Вот. Он такой довольно, кстати, корректный парень, без закидонов. Абсолютно не страдающий звездной болезнью. Он бил, я уклонялся, бил в разрез. Он оттягивался. Обменялись там ударами, побоксировали раунда 2-3. По-моему, там раза 2 ли мы боксировали. Ну, как-то вот так. Он не сказать, чтобы прям, знаешь, ходил каждый день на тренировку. Я его видел раза 3-4.
То есть он пропускал?
Ну, может быть, у него свой график, я не знаю. Я видел его не часто. Самобытная, своеобразная техника. Он не прям вот как бы, ну, не ударник. Понятно, что он борец, но не удары не прям вот не тайские, там, и не каратистские. Какие-то вот свои такие ММАшные удары. Он умеет пользоваться своим телом. Меня вот впечатлило в нем то, что он чувствует свое тело прям вот до кончиков, вообще каждой клеткой до кончиков пальцев.
I expected to see that sort of fight, which was more or less a kickboxing match with small gloves, you know, with a little dash of MMA.
A dash.
Yeah, just a dash, like not too much. But that's what we got, and of the highest caliber. It truly was a really good fight to watch. You saw Pereira fight through adversity in the first round. You saw the fight drag out. You saw how the fighters themselves started to change when they started landing shots. Yeah, you know, honestly, I left the fight watching it. It was a good fight to watch, but I left the fight really understanding this, like, you know, these 2 guys are absolute killers in the division, you know. I can take myself to a new level. I do feel like I can get in there and I can put on a better performance. I kind of understand where Adesanya was mentally, I guess, going into the rematch after losing twice to the same guy. You know, it was a very similar predicament with me and Adesanya, me and himself. And I do believe that, you know, him getting through the fights the way he did and the way everything's gone, like the next fight's the best one. But then it is what it is. I do want that fight. I do believe that I use mixed martial arts better than both of those guys. I do believe I can utilize my wrestling and grappling to just really make it a hellish match for both of them. I guess I think if we look at the fight just from a mental perspective, I believe Adesanya had a better chance last fight. But in saying that, though, maybe now that the worst has happened again, it frees him up for the next one. You know, it can go. It can. You can see where it can swing both ways really easily. It can either swing one way where it frees him up. The worst has happened. Whatever. And he gets in there like mentally free, or he's worried about it happening again with the small gloves because it had happened. You know,
Exactly.
That honestly, skill wise, he could have beat him skill wise last time. It was just it was a close fight. You know.
I don't think, you know, Conor truly wants to fight anymore. You sit there and say what he wants, but, you know, he's making big money. It's not like money's ever a problem. And when you look at getting yourself back into the gym and fighting, you know, training for that fight. I'm not saying he's not training. He trains now, you know, and he'll go in the gym. But it's fun to go in the gym when it's not training. And you're just, you know, you're sparring with someone, anything. That's all fun. That's, you know, that's not what a training camp is. A training camp sucks. And I look and I go, I'm just not too sure. And when you don't have that 100% focus, things don't go well for you. And I think Conor has a ton of advantages over Tony. I'm just being honest that they fought. Yeah. In the stand-up, you know, Conor has slowed down. You can't say that he hasn't. There's a little bit of a marked difference in his speed, which creates a difference in, you know, how he's able to get in on guys. But Tony has slowed down too. So Conor would be fast for Tony. But if the fight hits the ground, Tony can create a lot of problems for him. And Tony will create problems with just the funky style and things that he does. The kicks of Conor, we're going to see what they are. I would tell you he has an advantage there. But after coming off of the leg injury, it might not be an advantage because it may hurt him to kick with that leg. It's an interesting contrast. I'm not too sure that I see the UFC doing it.